Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to be reviewing the ColourPop birthday collection. This is their 5th birthday and they are celebrating it with a watermelon themed collection. I am super excited for this one because you guys know how much I love my monochromatic looks, palettes, collections, and they came out with another 9-pan eyeshadow palette with their monochromatic family. So I'm super excited for this one. I will be sharing my thoughts on the products that I picked up because I didn't pick up everything because it is a big collection, and obviously towards the end you guys will see my 3 looks with the main squeeze eyeshadow palette. So if you guys are interested in all of that, then just continue watching. Alright, like I mentioned, this collection is a very big one. I didn't pick up everything, so I'll just share with you what I picked up so you know what you're getting into in today's video. So the first thing that I picked up from the collection is the main squeeze eyeshadow palette. This is in their 9-pan format that is $12 US. I picked up the Slice of Life lip duo, which is $12 US, and that comes with an ultra blotted lip and an ultra glossy lip. There's also another duo that you can get which is called Out of Your Rind, which also $12 US, and that comes with an ultra matte lip and an ultra glossy lip. I also picked up the So Juicy gloss, which is $7 US. There's an ultra matte lip which is $7 US, and the last thing that I got from the collection is the glitter mini set, which is $12 US. It comes with 3 tiny pots of the Glitterly Obsessed body glitter. I do want to mention that these 3 are already existing shades in the Glitterly Obsessed family. It just comes in a smaller tub, but they do have 2 new ones which is in the big tubs, and that is $8 US that I did not pick up. There's also a Super Shock Highlight Quad for $20 US. And lastly, there are 3 sets of the Supernova shadows along with the Glitterly Obsessed mini tubs, and those are $12 US each, and they have 3 different shades. Forgot to mention there's also some skincare stuff. So there's a little kit that you can get called Best Served Chill. It comes with the face milk, oil, and scrub, which is all in the new watermelon flavor. That is $24 US. There's also the face milk, which you can buy individually. It is $10 US, and if you want to get the face milk and the oil, it is $16 US. So there's a whole lot of little bundles that you can buy to save a bit of money. But if you want to get everything in this collection, and makeup and skincare, it is $145 US, which is honestly not too bad in my opinion, because you are getting a ton of stuff with that. That is what I got. That is what's in the collection. Let's get started with the review. Never mind, let's not get started with the review just yet. I forgot to mention you do get a free Super Shock shadow if you do purchase anything from the collection or from the site. I'm not really too sure. I don't know if you still can get this. I'm pretty sure it's like limited stock, but you do get their annual Super Shock shadow that they come out with every year along with their birthday. This is in the shade Birthday Treat. Now let's get started with the review. First things first, let's talk about the main squeeze eyeshadow palette. I am super excited for this one. I think the theme of this is so cute. Okay, let's talk about the packaging. This is the packaging of the main squeeze eyeshadow palette. On the side you have like the watermelon skin and just the whole theme, the vibe. You can see there's a lot of detail to everything. But anyway, this is the main squeeze eyeshadow palette in their 9-pan format. They are claiming that this is their red palette, and I had a couple of first impressions when I saw this palette. First, I don't really feel like it's really a red palette. When I see this, I don't really think of a true red palette, but I feel like it's the closest that we're gonna get to a red palette from ColourPop. I would say this is more of like a coral cherry red. You know, it's still red, like it's still in that family of red, but when I think of red, I think of a blue tone, rich blood red. You know what I mean? But I mean, it still does classify as a red palette, but that was just my first impressions. I feel like there should have been a green eyeshadow in here to really tie in the, you know, whole watermelon theme. But then on the other side of the sword, it's like if there was a green in here, it wouldn't really be such a monochromatic palette, would it? So, I mean, you know, you see both sides. Do you want to be monochromatic or do you want to stay on theme? You know, they gotta find their middle ground. But those were my first impressions. After playing with this palette, I love this palette so much. It probably, I don't know, it might have to be my favorite 9-pan palette. I'm like in between Ooh La La and Main Squeeze. Like these 2 are like coming in for first place, but it's really high up there. I think this is such a beautiful palette. I think you get a good variety of mattes. Of course, you have 5 matte, 4 metallic / shimmers, which is a really good amount. You get beautiful transition shadows. You get a medium and you get a dark. You might look at this palette and you might think this is very bold, but I really do think that you can make this into an everyday palette. You could take Big Gulp as your transition, Money Seed in the outer corner, corner, red bottoms at the outer corner again, and Baywatch in the middle, and bam. It's very neutral. I feel like although this palette is bright, it's still very wearable. Something about these eyeshadows as well, they blend like a dream. ColourPop shadows are already really good, but for some reason these shadows it was just so effortless. I don't know what they did. Still ColourPop's formula, but for some reason these just blend out a lot easier and there's no patchiness. Even with the darkest shade there, it's just beautiful. To be honest, I don't really have any complaints with this palette. I am super happy with it. The variety of looks that you can create, the tones, the good amount of mattes and shimmers, very unique. When I was finding my dupes, I didn't feel like there was something like this from ColourPop. Even individual shades. When you see my dupes, there's not a lot. I even skipped out on some shades because I couldn't find anything. I think this is a good addition to ColourPop's family. I feel like it was needed. So yeah, I mean, for $12 US, I highly recommend it. I see myself using this one so much. Moving on to lip products, like I mentioned, I picked up the Slice of Life lip duo, which contains the ultra bottle lip and the ultra glossy lip for $12 US. I would actually highly recommend you get this duo because this ultra bottle lip is so beautiful. It's kind of like your lips but better, but a little bit more coral. It just makes your lips look so good, and I don't know, the ultra bottle lips, they make your lips look bigger. It just looks so natural and so soft, and the gloss in here is really pretty as well. This is in their High Shine formula, which comes in the brush applicator. This shade is super pretty. I feel like it's also very natural as well. It just gives like a little bit of a tint to my lips just to even everything out, and it just gives you a good impact of a gloss. So I actually think the Slice of Life duo is pretty worth it, and I would highly recommend it because this ultra bottle lip is a really nice one. If you're a fan of the ultra bottle lips, you guys will really like this. And the last two lip products that I got is the So Juicy gloss in the shade Big Slice and the ultra matte lip in Melonade. So for the So Juicy gloss, you guys know I just love glosses. I am wearing that one right now on my lips. This would have to be another favorite. I just love glosses that have a pop of color to it. It just gives you some life to your face, you know? If you're a fan of the So Juicy glosses, then I would highly recommend this one as well. I think it's a really pretty shade, perfect for summertime. I feel like this is the summertime color. For the ultra matte lip, this is a very unique kind of red burnt orangey shade. I don't have anything like it in my ultra matte collection. When you see the comparisons later on, you will see how different it is from all the other reds that I have. Ariba will always be my favorite red, so it doesn't really replace it. If I didn't end up picking up this guy, I wouldn't be too sad about it because I still love my Ariba more than this one. But nonetheless, it's still a pretty shade, so if you like it, like the formula, why not? But moving along, let's talk about the mini glitter set that I got. So I didn't actually realize that these are already existing shades. I don't know if they mentioned that in their swatch party, and if they did, that's my bad. I probably just didn't hear it. I feel like when things are existing again and they're reselling it, I feel like they should let people know a bit more clearer. I only found out when I was going to find my dupes. If you get the big tubs, they are not existing. They are new to the collection. I really do like the body glitters. I think they are a really great formula, very easy to work with. It's really clever of them to sell them in small tubs because realistically, the big tubs, like when are you ever going to finish it? It's probably going to dry out by the time you want to use it. So it's great that they have small tubs for a cheaper price. You can try out more shades as well. I would actually recommend these little glitters just because they come so handy and they are so useful for so many different looks, and it's great that they come in a smaller tub because that is actually a lot more useful. Sorry for the lighting change. The sun decided to come out after literally a thunderstorm. Literally an hour ago, it was so dark in this house where I could turn the lights on, but now the sun is out and my lighting is changing. So let's just talk about the complimentary Super Shock shadow that you get if you make an order on ColourPop. I am unsure if it is still available right now because obviously this collection did launch a while ago. But if it is, I would highly recommend you spend a certain amount or buy something from this collection to get the Super Shock shadow. I think it's so beautiful. I am not a person that really likes Super Shock shadows as much, but this one is very pretty. I think the tone of it is very nice. There's so many specks of glitters in here that it gives you so much sparkle and dimension to the eyes. So I mean, it's free with your order. If it's still available, I would highly recommend. Now that the review is over, let's move along to the comparisons and my 3 looks. Just a heads up, there is not many comparisons or dupes just because it was really hard to find any with this collection. So I really feel like this collection was what ColourPop needed to fill in that gap of reds. So yeah, let's roll the clips. Alright, so to get started with the first look, we're going to be taking the shade Big Gulp, and this is going to be our transition shadow. We are going to put that straight into the crease using windshield wiping motions. This shade is a little bit more on the medium side rather than the light side, so just take your time at blending this out. You'll have no issues blending any of these shadows out. They blend so easily that it's like mind-blowing. But regardless, just take your time at blending and smoking this shadow out into your crease. I'm also going to bring this onto my lower lash line as well, right from the outer corner to the inner corner, just making sure at the outer corner we are connecting these shadows. Next, I will be taking the shade Like It's Hot, and we're going to put this straight into the outer third of our eyes. I'm going to be using circular motions just to get the most pigment there first, and I'll slowly bring that towards the middle of my lid, but we mainly want this shadow to be at the outer third. I think this shadow is probably the standout shadow in this palette. I just think it's the most perfect watermelon shade ever. Then I'll be taking the shade Red Bottoms, and I'm going to put that in my outer third once again, but I am using a smaller brush and I'm going to focus it closer to my lash line. I'm going to keep it quite low, mainly on my lid. I'm not going to really bring it up all the way into my crease, and this is just going to deepen up the outer corner and really pull our eye shape to a cat eye. I'm also going to bring this onto my lower lash line as well, but I'm really going to press this up against my waterline because we are going to be placing a vibrant eyeliner in our waterline after that. I want it to contrast against something very dark. Now I'll be taking the Super Shock shadow in the shade Birthday Treat, and this is going right at the inner third of my lid. This is the Birthday Super Shock shadow that comes free with your purchase. It was so pretty that I wanted to use it in one of the looks. This Super Shock shadow has a lot of dimension, a lot of specks of glitters. There's just a whole lot going on, and it looks so good on the eyes. It really catches the light and really just opens up your eyes. So I love this shadow. I'm just going to put that into the inner third of my lid space, and I'm gonna slowly blend that out towards the middle of my lid by just dabbing it out. To finish off the look, I'm going to be taking the ColourPop Creme Gel Liner in the shade Electric Daisy, and this is going into our bottom waterline. Since this is a watermelon themed collection, I wanted to add a pop of green to make this the ultimate watermelon look while still making it very wearable at the same time. It does take a few swipes to really get this eyeliner to show up, but once it's there, it just completes the whole watermelon eye look. So this, guys, completes the first look. For my lip pairing, I decided to go with the Ultra Blotter lip in the shade Swing Away. I really liked how this look turned out. I love the Super Shock shadow with all the glitters and then the pop of green in my lower lash line as well. I feel like this is just the ultimate watermelon look. It's very on theme with this whole collection. I also put the BFF mascara in the shade Left on Red on my lower lash line. I don't know if you can really tell, but I thought that was a nice little touch to this eye look. So I'm obsessed with how it turned out, and I hope you guys are too. Alright, getting started with the second look. We're starting off with the shade Froze. We are just going to focus this right at the outer corner, just packing on the color there. And then I'm going to take a smaller brush and I'm going to pack that into the inner corner of my lid space. We want the whole middle to be blank. Nothing in the crease, nothing on the lid, in the middle. And I'm also going to do the exact same thing on my lower lash line as well. We're just going to run this all over the lower lash line, but just keeping the middle blank. So we want the whole middle on the top and bottom lid to be blank with no shadow at all. I'm going into the shade Like It's Hot with a smaller brush, but I'm doing exactly the same thing. This shadow is also going to add dimension, but also just give the whole cherry red vibe that we are aiming for. So just like before, we're putting that into the outer third and inner third of our eyes, on the top lid, and also on the bottom lower lash line. Now I will be taking the shade Juicy Fruit. I won't be using this shadow wet, I'm just using it as it is, and I'm going to apply that right at the center of my lid space and also on my bottom lash line as well, where we left blank previously. This shadow is just going to be a base for the glitter liner that we're going to place on top after. I do want a base there just so it can give more dimension. It can really catch the light instead of just having nothing there and just a glitter liner on top. So that's where we're going to be putting this shadow. It is like a peachy golden, so it really complements the red cherry eyeshadows beside it. I then just took my ColourPop BFF liquid liner and I just used that to line my lash line. A very thin line just so I could hide my lash band a bit easier. I then took a black shadow just to kind of smudge out that liner so it's not as harsh and it's a little bit more diffused. But then I took my Urban Decay Heavy Metal glitter liner in the shade Midnight Cowboy, and I'm going to use this to create one straight line down my eyelid. So I started with the line on my top lid first. I'm making it a bit thicker closer to my lash line, and it's going to go up to a point towards my crease, and then I'm going to do exactly the same thing, aligning it onto my lower lash line. It's not going to be as long as the one on top. So this, guys, is the second look completed. This was inspired by Jennie from Blackpink. This was one of the makeup looks that she wore in the Kill This Love music video. When I saw this palette, I knew I had to recreate that look just because these shades are just perfect for that look, and I hope you guys like it too. It is a very, very simple eye look. I literally just use 3 shadows. It's very easy to create, very quick as well, but it looks so cool and so detailed. So I hope you guys like this inspired look. I really like how it turned out. It's something a little bit different, but still not too different at the same time. Getting started on the final look, we're going to take the shade Seed Money, and this is going to be our transition shadow. This is more of a medium tone shade, so just take your time blending this out into your crease. It does blend out very easily. It won't take you long, but just make sure you are getting a good blend since this color isn't as light as a transition shadow should be. I'm then going into the shade Like It's Hot, and this is going into the outer third of our eye. I'm also going to take some of the product into the inner crease as well, just to get some depth in there. It's just kind of all over the crease area, but we do want most of the product at the outer corner. Then moving on to the shade Red Bottoms, I'm doing exactly the same thing, but I'm just using a smaller brush, and we are focusing it closer to the lid and closer to the crease area, like we were going to cut the crease. Taking some of my P. Louise eyeshadow base on the back of my hand, I'm going to use this to cut out my crease. We are doing a half cut crease, so I'm just placing that at the inner third of my lid space, and I'm going to take it up towards my crease area. You want to take it a little bit above your actual crease, that way there is no transfer. I like to use a smaller, thinner brush to really define and really cut the crease out, making it very sharp. Using the shade Home Slice, I'm going to put that directly at the center of my lid, kind of where the concealer and the mattes meet. We're going to use this shade to diffuse everything out and make these shimmers and mattes like come together as one, so there's not really like a harsh line between the two. Then using the shade Maraschino, this is going right into the inner third of our lid, and we're going to blend that into Home Slice. Taking some of the Glitterily Obsessed Body Glitter in the shade Keep It Plutonic, I'm going to take this on a very thin brush, and I'm just going to run this against my crease line. That way the cut crease can just pop out a little bit more. I feel like using Maraschino didn't really make the cut crease pop out too much, just because it's not really a light shimmer shade. It's more of like a medium shimmer. Going back into the shade Like It's Hot, I'm going to run this all over my lower lash line. This is going to be the only shade on the lower lash line, just because I want that really cherry red to pop out. So we are just going to drag this out from the outer corner right to the inner corner. Alright guys, so this is the final look completed. For my lashes, I am wearing the iconic lights from House of Lashes. For my lip pairing, I decided to pair it with the So Juicy Gloss in the shade Big Slice. I really like how this cut crease turned out. I don't think I've ever done such a red half cut crease before, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. Alright guys, so that completes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up for me. I would appreciate it so much if you did. It just really encourages me when you guys give my videos a thumbs up. It just lets me know that I'm doing something right. Be sure to let me know your thoughts about the collection down below in the comments. Let me know which look was your favorite. Do you think I'm missing out on something that I didn't purchase from this collection? Let me know your thoughts down below. I love answering you guys down there. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!